not the leader of a cult. RabbitWithAxe's.
Greetings, demons, and welcome to RabbitWithAxe's Game of the Year 2025. Before we get into this, I first want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I have been pretty much exclusively a PC gamer in 2025, so unfortunately there won't be any mention of either PlayStation or Nintendo's slate of exclusives. I don't own a PS5 or a Switch 2, and while I do have an Xbox and Game Pass Ultimate, let's be honest, Xbox doesn't have anything exclusive anymore, so what's even the point of mentioning them? I also have a few pseudo-honorable mentions for games that don't quite fit the normal definition of video game, so without further ado, let's jump into that and check them out.
Arcade!
I love the arcade, and have been lucky enough to visit a decent few this year, and whilst most games are at best from the last few years or older, this year I did get to try a new release with the absolutely fantastic House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn Theatre. I haven't spent too much time with it so far, but I'm a huge House of the Dead fan, and this is another fun-on-rail shooter, so really no complaints from me. Combine the great gameplay with the perfect B-movie plot and pretty good Unreal Engine graphics, and this is simply a great new addition to the arcade that I look forward to putting more time into the next time I find it.
Mobile!
I'm so often behind the times with mobile game releases. Destiny Rising and Fortnite Blitz have been good mobile-friendly versions of games I already play, but I wouldn't exactly choose the mobile games over their respective PC releases, though I will say that Go Ghost Go is an excellent time waster that should have its own separate release. With that being said, my pick for mobile game of the year has to be Friday Night Funkin', a truly excellent rhythm game that has been long available on Newgrounds, but only released in the Play Store this year, which happens to also be the first place I've played it. It really does bring the classic feel of games like Parappa the Rapper with a fun street art aesthetic and thoroughly enjoyable gameplay loop. FNF has been a great way for me to spend a few minutes, and it definitely deserves to be my mobile game of the year.
Tabletop!
And that leaves me with the final category that I want to give a mention to, board games. Now, once again, I'm a little behind the times. I haven't had a chance to play Star Wars Battle of Hoth or any of the new Warhammer releases. I'm looking at you, Dawn of War Onslaught. And those are the only kinds of releases that are generally on my radar, so I'll have to give it to the Monopoly expansions. I love Monopoly, it's fun, a great way to spend time with friends, and an even better way to ruin friendships, and the expansions are just excellent for varying the game we all love to fight over. My biggest issue now is that getting someone to play Monopoly in the first place is hard enough without tacking on up to 3 separate add-ons, but that doesn't change how much fun it is to steal a golden car from the car park, buy the car park, and then continue to destroy all my relationships until I inevitably get sent to super jail so that I can continue to commit tax fraud. Yes, that's what the expansions bring to the table, and that's why they are my collective board game of the year.
Game of the Year!
First, I want to give an honourable mention to Warhammer 40k Speed Freaks, because whilst technically its full release was this year, I've been playing this chaotic vehicle combat nonsense since 2024. So long ago that it was gameplay for Warhammer Weekly for a while, and I just couldn't bring myself to make it Game of the Year despite my love of the Crumpin' Good Lads and their gawkin' fun game. So here we go, I mentioned the boys, we can pick a real winner now. So without further ado, let's get into my true Game of the Year. I suppose it makes sense in a way that my pick for 2025's Game of the Year isn't some big franchise release or an epic adventure RPG, but instead a low-stakes sport game in the same vein as Rocket League or Knockout City. Rematch is everything I want from a football game. It's fast, fun, doesn't stress me out, and doesn't make me feel like I need to care about a datasheet of stats just to play. It's visually enjoyable, if nothing spectacular, but the gameplay and controls are exactly what I love. Take third-person shooter controls and stick them in pretty much anything and I'll at least enjoy it. And it simply just works for a football game. I've never been a fan of FIFA, EA Sports FC. And whilst I have enjoyed similar, more serious sporting simulators like NBA 2K, I simply don't return to those games the way I do to Rematch. And that's why it is my Game of the Year for 2025. Wow, okay, that was a lot compared to usual. I can't tell you how good it feels to actually write a script for a video again. Maybe I'll do this again sometime. With that being said though, with 2025 in the review, I want to quickly say thank you to everyone who has joined me this year. Through the ups and the downs, it really means a lot to see so many of you have stuck around for what has been a really messy year for me. So, as a bit of a promise, here's a sneak peek of what 2026 has in store. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching my first ever Game of the Year video. This was really fun to make, and hopefully I'll not only do this again next year, but maybe even play more new releases in 2026. I'm doubtful, honestly. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you never miss upload. Tell me what your Game of the Year is in the comments below. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next year.
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but we'll survive. I just wanna take